everyone from, you know, mid-20s to 50s on the same team. So.
Oh, okay. So it isn't just the teams aren't necessarily just by age.
No.
They have a mixture.
Yeah.
That's interesting. That it's. I can see. I guess if you're skilled in the sport, it doesn't give you great advantage to be younger or whatever.
Exactly. Maybe wiser is a better thing. You know? But I mean,
is it very is it mentally very challenging to be able to judge just how much and where you sweep and so forth? Or
it is, because it's a fine line between throwing a rock from one end and getting it. The button is the target that you're throwing at. It's about a foot wide circle. That's not very big. The rock maybe fits just inside of it. So I mean, that's your goal from, and you're throwing from, you know, almost 200 feet from the other end. So you can see how, you know, just a little bit off on one side or a little bit too much weight, you're going to miss it. So it's very challenging in that way. And the strategy is, I think, what a lot of people like about the sport. It's very fun that way. Sort of like you said, chess on ice. I think that's what draws people to the sport a lot too as well.
How's it scored?
It's scored 10 ends, like I said. So each team gets 8 rocks. And at the end of, when all the rocks are thrown per end, they'll see which rocks are closest to the button. Okay, so you could have, usually the rocks are red and yellow, so you could have two red rocks closest to the button. That team gets 2 points. Okay, so then you go move on to the next end, that team's up 2-0, and you start over again with 8 rocks. And then at the end of 10 ends, whoever has the most points, that's who wins.
I was trying to think where the term end comes from. It's big.
I guess an end, it's sort of like a round, I guess.
Well, that's like a period.
A period, yeah, just different term.
And they throw all 8 rocks in each end.
Yep.
In each time frame.
Yep. And a game is 10 ends, and 10 of those ends. So you're looking at 80 rocks per team thrown per game. Yeah.
That's a lot of 38 to 40 pounds, even if you're just pushing it.
Right. Yeah.
What is your role at Iceworks, and with this tournament? What are you?
Yeah, my role at Iceworks, I'm sort of an assistant manager within events and advertising and that type of thing. But really, I'm mostly focused on the event right now. So I'm a board member with the event. There's 4 of us from Iceworks working on this event, which isn't very much because they also have other jobs at Iceworks. They're doing other things full time as well. So it's a lot of work for us. But you know, my job with this is trying to get out to, you know, the community and promote curling and advertising and get sponsorships and just get people ready for the event that's coming, because, you know, a lot of people just don't know about curling, and it's trying to get the word out there that it's coming here and people can come see it for, you know, really cheap.
Okay, and the date is, or dates?
February 11th. Is the
February
first
11th.
date. It's a week long, so February 11th it starts, and it goes to the 18th.
February 11th to the 18th,
yep.
And then obviously you're saying that people can come and watch.
Yep.
What is it, in the evening? Is it in the afternoon?
Yeah. So on the 11th is opening ceremonies. That's opening ceremonies day, and then there'll be 2 draws that day. Here's another term to get used to. A draw is where all the teams come, they'll play all at the same time. So all the men's teams will play at a certain time, that's 1 draw. All the women's teams will come and play after that, that's 1 draw. So every day for the entire week, starting at 8 o'clock in the morning, there'll be a men's draw. 8 o'clock. All 10 men's teams will play, because there's going to be 5 lanes on our ice surface. Okay, so you can see that there's, on one lane there's going to be 2 teams playing against each other.
So they're playing simultaneously,
yeah, all at the same time.
Yeah, like bowling alleys.
Yeah, similar to bowling alleys. Yep. So all at the same time, they're all going to play. So that'll go about 2.5 hours probably, almost, for 1 game, and then the women's will come and play at noon, and then so they'll go 2.5 hours, and the men will come back. And play at 4, and then the women's at 8. So every day there's going to be 4 draws, 8, noon, 4, and 8 every single day, up until you get to the quarterfinals and the semis and then the championship. Yeah. So you're looking at, any day you can come and see. It's pretty much all day event.
And this is the national championship.
Yep.
And now, is there a curling club at your rink, or is
no? This is actually the first time that Iceworks has ever hosted anything like curling before, so it's new to us. So we don't have a curling rink there, so it's actually going on one of our bigger hockey rinks with the bleacher seating. So USA Curling is going to come in a week before and revamp the ice surface.
I was going to ask you if you didn't have to do something.
They have to take out all the glass, and they have to actually put in all of our sponsorships, all their logos that we got, because they're all going to go in the ice, and then they're going to have to make their own ice surface, because it's not the same type of ice as you see in a hockey rink.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's actually.
Well, that's because it has to melt and.
Yeah. There's actually they'll actually spray the ice almost like you're watering a plant, so that it leaves like pebbles in the ice for the rocks to grab a bit, so they can curl. So it's totally different ice than in hockey. So they have to come in a week before, take over our rink, and go from there.
Do they have to resurface the ice regularly like they do in hockey?
Yeah, after each game, they'll come out with their own type of resurfacers. It's not like a Zamboni or anything, but you'll see them. They'll come out and they'll clean the ice and make sure there's nothing left on the ice and get it ready for the next game. Yep. Oh,
well, that's all fascinating. I've learned a lot here about curling. And I gather you have not actually played on a team of curling, in spite of the fact that your parents and all are.
I never had a chance, just because of hockey and stuff. It's played at the exact same time. I just never had that chance to go out and actually join a team.
Okay, well, now I understand that you're going to bring some to Marist Grove, and that actually you have a version of curling that can be done away from the ice.
Yes.
Would you tell us about that and what and when and what you're going to be doing?
Yep, curling.us is what the kits are from, and Newman University. They were very generous to help us sponsor this Learn to Curl program that we came up with. So basically, we come out to places like Marist Grove, and we teach Learn to Curl. It's with these smaller, very lightweight type rocks. They have little metal ball bearings on the bottom, so that slides on any type of flooring. We have our own targets and our own push brooms for the people who can't get down low to actually throw the rock. And then we go from there. I teach everything about curling, like we've talked about today, the sport, and then they can actually try curling themselves on the carpet or any type of flooring.
Oh, really? Now you can't melt the carpet or the flooring. How does you still do sweeping?
No sweeping. There's no sweeping, but basically it's just really the basics of curling. The strategy could be part of it, because you're playing against someone else. There's two sets.
So the skill that involved is really in the throw,
really in the weight of how hard you're throwing it, and where you're throwing it, where you're setting up the rocks on in front of the target and such like that. So it'll be it's going to be a fun event, to teach people. I think it's sort of similar to shuffleboard, like I said before, and that type of sport.
And I gather that if people are interested in more than just the demonstration, I remember when the bocce court was built, and some people here, residents, said we want bocce. So if some residents come to the demonstration and decide that this looks like it would be fun to have here, that you said you can, well, there's two things that they can do. One is you can buy a kit of the equipment that you need, and the other is, you said that it is available in Wii. It is,
so you can, obviously I'll be bringing the kits there, so they'll see what those are like. Those can be purchased online, or the person who donated them is actually coming to the event, or I've actually played the Wii curling. I know that I've heard around here that Wii bowling's a big deal. So there is a Wii curling, so they can learn the sport on there. It's exactly you can learn the sport, all the rules and stuff on there.
Now, when is it that you're coming to do the,
On the
the
10th.
demonstration?
I'm
On
coming-
January 10th?
Yep, I'm coming on the 10th at 9:30. I'm starting at, what's the building over there called? I'm not sure. It's at the other building. I'm going at 9:30, and then I'm coming to the Cardinal one here at 11, I believe.
Oh.
So I'm doing both areas,
Oh, okay.
two sessions of it, yeah.
So you're going to be at both clubhouses?
Yeah, yeah, we're going
That's-
to do it upstairs in the area up.
Oh.
When you walk up the stairs, I'm not sure. We're just going to move the tables aside and do it
Oh.
around the carpet there because
okay.
there's plenty of room
Okay.
there. Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. And now let's see. Is it difficult to learn to play it?
Not really, because you know it's really simple. All you have is the rock and the mat, and you go from there. I'll teach you all the rules, and you know, give a little demonstration, and then everyone can come and try it for themselves. And they can, if they want to have the little team, they can have a team. You know, play against each other, make it a little competitive if they want, and go from there.
Okay. Now let's see. We've talked some about the nationals and about the teams, now what about the team? Now I know it's an Olympic sport too.
Yep.
But do the nationals? Let's see. We've got 2 more years until the next Winter Olympics.
Yep.
This is the Winter Olympics. But do these nationals determine our national team?
Yes. So 10 men's teams. Well, it's 11 men's teams this year, and 10 women's teams will come. The winner of the men's and the winner of the women's will go to World Championships. I believe the women's is being held in Lethbridge, Alberta, I think, and the men's is being held in Switzerland. It could be vice versa, I'm not too sure. So they move on to that and play against all the other countries in the world. Now, if this was an Olympic year, this would be the Olympic trials, and you know, they would all come here to compete, and the winners would be going to the Olympics.
Do they have worlds every year?
Yep, every year they have worlds. Every year they have national championships. Last year they were held in North Dakota. Next year they're going to be held in Green Bay, and obviously this year in Philadelphia.
Oh, that's kind of a real coup for
Yep.
for Philadelphia to have gotten them. And now, if we don't go to, if people go to the nationals, well, hopefully that there's going to be a good audience there,
Yep.
And gets really excited about it, where else can they see curling?
You know what, curling, it's getting tough. It's not out there in the market too much already. So really the only places that you're going to see curling is if you go onto webcasting or online and see it there, or at the Olympics. Obviously I said in Canada it's on TV all the time, but just really the networks down here haven't picked it up. It's not a big enough sport. It's not bringing in enough revenue through sponsorships and advertising for them yet.
Not like Canada.
But yeah, but we're hoping to have it, you know, even if we can get the finals on TV or the championships, you know, on NBC is who it's partnered with, USA Curling. So we're going to hopefully get something on TV.
Good.
Yep.
Good. Wow. It sounds very exciting.
Yeah.
And thanks so much, Sean, for coming and telling us about it. And in review then, January 10th.
Yep.
You're coming, and you're going to be at both clubs' houses. You said the timing was
9:30 a.m.
9:30.
Yeah, over there at that one.
At Britton.
Britton,
It
yeah.
sounds like 9:30 at Britton.
Yeah. And then 11 o'clock here.
At 11 o'clock at Cardinal. And so we hope that there'll be a really good turnout and a fun time. And if everybody enjoys it, maybe they'll be there in February at Iceworks, and we look forward to that. And look forward to seeing you.
Thank you.
When you come back.
Yep.
So thanks so much, Sean, and thank you everyone for watching Through the Lens.